trying to turn things around here, play with a little more energy as we begin this fourth quarter. Kyle Draper and Katie Christensen watching Anthony Black finally miss one, but a second chance opportunity. Wendell Carter Jr. no.
And that was one of the really big differences for them, as there's a turnover by the Kings.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just the big differences for Orlando, where they had an advantage in that third quarter. Was they out-rebounded the Kings 12-5 in that third quarter, en route to outscoring them 42-23.
This is the largest lead of the game here. Shot clock at 2. Malik got to get it up.
And that's going to be
Here. 106-83. Silva, 18th overall pick, goes with.
They're long, they're athletic. I think they pose a lot of challenges for this Kings team.
Now, and what are you looking forward here to seeing in the fourth quarter for the Kings to be able to gain a little bit of momentum?
Yeah, I think just playing clean. I think they might be overthinking, flow a little better, play with some good base.
All right, Deuce, we'll see you on the post-game show, man. 10:18 left to go before we hit you up with Morgan Reagan. Kings trying to show a little more fight here out of that last time out. Oh, it's Banchero. He was looking to catch a body. Carter Jr. knocks down the 3. Insult to injury there for Sacramento.
An example of where that length for Orlando can be a problem. I mean, Jonathan Isaac just getting his tip on that ball, and they end up with a 3, and the Kings just cold offensively right now.
I mean, this is that lineup when you look at it. No one under 6'7" on the floor for Orlando. Black, Anthony Black, the smallest guy at 6'7", as Leak, no. Domas, another rebound here. Looking to big body Isaac, got the contact. Domas 19-12, 3 assists. Make it 20. There's 2 for 2.
Doug Christie telling his guys to push up. He wants them picking up full court and giving pressure. And he wants to see the defensive effort right now as the Kings are trying to claw back into this one. But that's what it does.
Right.
When you push up like that, it can leave you overextended on that backside.
Kings race down the floor. DeRozan downs here.
Here's one thing I know. It's not going to change.
Right. Got to play through it here. Zach LaVine just checked back in. We got 5 on the clock here. Malik, running hook, too strong.
You're seeing even that right there, a perfect example of just the lack of familiarity with each other. LaVine passes it to Malik. He goes to drive right, but Zach LaVine brings his defender right into the driving path.
Meanwhile, foul line jumper, Banchero. He's got 19. And it has been all magic here in the second half. To Deuce's point, the Kings right now look like a team trying to incorporate a new player that has not practiced yet.
Without a doubt. And this is one of the.
Doug Christie now going to the bench. Mason Jones, Kobe Jones, Isaac Jones.
I mean, we got the brothers Jones in there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the waving the white flag here with 8 minutes to go in the fourth.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Orlando almost
to realize that, you know, things don't get easier. As we were talking before the break, the Kings head out on the road tonight after this game and fly to Portland. They'll play second night of a back-to-back in Portland. So that's an important one. It's a Western Conference opponent.
Portland, the hottest team in the league right now. They've won 9 out of their last 10 games. The Chauncey Billups squad. So we'll see them tomorrow. Meanwhile, Orlando will hop on a plane and head to Denver, where they'll face the Nuggets tomorrow. Nice find on the inside, but that size and length of Orlando.
Orlando just completely makes you feel like you have no options.
Schedule, maybe you don't practice as much, but this team has to, right? When you got new players, Valanciunas set the
practice time. But between now and then, Kyle, there's no legit practice. There is no practice time.
The looks on those faces says it all for Sacramento.
With the sixth game of a six-game road trip.
They showed some fight. So knowing these guys like we do, it's not them laying over, laying down or anything like that.
Every team's going to lay an egg or two. Of course, there's been a lot of stuff going on from a schedule perspective, from an emotional perspective with the business side of the league over the last couple weeks, and it's not over yet. And I think that, you know, you got to try and see if you can't gain.
Tonight, I'm scouring some of the other games in the league. Golden State lost to Utah tonight, 131-128.
This is usually where, you know, teams that are kind of in the bottom part of the standings pick up a few games heading into the break.
Also tonight, looking at the Western Conference, Minnesota did beat Chicago. San Antonio also got a 1-point win tonight over Atlanta. As Wendell knocks down the three, he's got 8. That's 14 triples, 14 of 26.
I think the troubling part, right, is we've looked back at that 6-game road trip, and there was a couple. Think about it. Last year, the Kings had 2 less wins than the year before, and we're in the play-in versus being a home court advantage the season before. Like it's, you know, 3 games left in the season, 5 games left in the season. 2 years ago, they were 3rd in the West. What are 48 wins. What are the Lakers going to look like? You know, going the rest of the way. When you look at the number of trades that have happened and trades to all-stars that we pointed out earlier, what is that going to do to the Western Conference the rest of the way? Jones get a bucket right there. Mason in his 5th game being played this season. Oh, get it out of here, Kobe, with the nice block out of a number of all-stars. Luka, AD, Jimmy Butler now heading to Golden State. Also reportedly getting that extension. What do you make of the landscape of the West now with some of these big names coming here to the Western? Fast forward to just a few hours ago, and he's signed a 2-year. Turning that down. Right. No one's turning that down. The question is, what? For Jimmy Butler. Also, according to reports, Brandon Ingram and those Pelicans, we'll see them on Saturday. Ingram to Toronto. Well, we're going to see the Pelicans in 3 out of 4 games heading into the trade or to the All-Star break. So you know, and Zion Williamson also is a name that has been out there on the market, and trade deadline is not over. What will the Pelicans look like come Saturday? Who knows? Mason Jones, a little teardrop here for Mason Jones. He's made good use of his opportunities the last couple games that he's gotten in. He got some time on the road at the end. He's friends with everybody, too. He knows everybody, and everybody loves him, and he's just the best. I mean, for overall, like, team, like how he makes you feel, the joy, the camaraderie, like he's first team. I remember that last season, right? Yeah. You know, when he was called up from the G League. Howard, 2nd-year man out of Michigan. His dad, Jawan Howard, now an assistant with Jordy Fernandez in Brooklyn. Doug Christie has that in common with him, but a UCLA product as well. Yes. There's our old friend Corey Joseph right here, getting some one of the best people in the NBA, man. I love Corey Joseph. Just such a good human being. Has that smile too, that'll light up a room. As Mason unable to cash in. Defense right there by Isaiah Crawford. Last year, where a tough game against Houston when Keon Ellis got some. It's converted to a standard contract. He's been in the starting lineup. He is a valuable piece of this roster. That's
touchdown. The pitches never stop evaluating.
No.
Whether it's front quarter, front office, everything. Right.
Yeah, and Doug Christie, as a former player, a lot of coaches that are former players, you see what he did with Doug McDermott in Denver.
Yeah.
When he came in that fourth quarter and just rained threes. He was the first sub off the bench in the next game. So a lot of former players that, turn head coaches, they really do look at this time, and if they see something, they'll go to it.
Devin Carter going with the scoop.
Another guy that this time is really important for. He missed the beginning of his rookie campaign due to an injury. And he hasn't had a lot of, time on the floor this season. This is important time for Devin Carter.
13th overall pick, Devin Carter.
Just his 15th game playing. He just has yet to find his rhythm.
And he takes the bump right there.
His mentality, yeah, I could guess what his...
Bleach just like you, so don't fear any man. And, that's the kind of swag and mentality that Devin Carter has.
Yeah, and, he grew up around the NBA, just as Cole Anthony did, obviously, for the Magic. And I think that also makes it different if you're able to get to the NBA because you've grown up seeing it. It's not as awe-inspiring to you. It's not... It resonates a little different because you grew up watching it, being around the players.
Yeah, his dad Anthony Carter played 13 seasons in the league, currently an assistant coach with the Memphis Grizzlies. As Mason Jones tracks down a rebound under a minute to play here. Kings will fall to 25 and 25 on the season as Mason laces a three-ball.
And a mad shout-out to the fans that are still
here, right?
And engaged. I'm being serious.
That's right. And for some of these fans, it's their first Kings game.
Yeah.
They want to soak this in.
It's a school night. It's a work night. It's, hey, I mean it 100%.
Trailed by 2 at the half, but in the second half, it was all Orlando. As Isaac
You're
J.
seeing a little bit of the chemistry that
The second unit
these
G
G League guys have built with each other.
And it's a final here in Sacramento. Doug Christie.